And the truth is, nobody noticed.
Really?
No, hardly anybody. Hardly anybody noticed, except me. And
Your nose is really pretty, by the way.
I have 5 now. 5 nose jobs. Thank you. But the funny thing was, when I was going through the process, when I wrote the checks before the surgery, I had to write the checks, and I thought that was going to be the worst part because it was all of my savings that I had at the time as a kid. I think at the time, now I look back, it sounds cheap, but it was like $3,500. And I remember writing the checks to the doctor and the anesthesiologist, and I was like, wow, like, I gave them the money, like, oh, I don't want to. And then afterwards, I left the office, and I felt oddly euphoric. Like, I felt really good, actually. I felt really important to myself. I think for the first time, that's the first time I ever remember just buying something for myself. Like, because when I grew up, like, literally my mom and me and my brothers and sisters would shop at Goodwill. So it was secondhand clothing because we didn't have a lot of money. And if my brothers after me didn't like the clothes I wanted to buy, my mother wouldn't let me buy them. Because after I wore them, I was the oldest, they would get handed down to the other kids. So, not to say it's not a boohoo story, it's just to say, we all shared bedrooms, and that's fine. A lot of people do growing up. But nothing was ever really just bought for you. If it was to benefit the house, then it was fine. But to spend $3,500 on just you, on just me, we would just never do that, right? And my parents didn't have money set aside for college, so I think in their mind, I was working part-time and going to school. That money would be put towards, going to school or furthering my education. So when I came to them and said, oh, I want a nose job, they, of course, didn't agree with this. So, but I do think that sense of investing in myself, like literally the monetary investment of into me as a being mentally, I think it made me feel more important to myself. And I think it gave me confidence where I could see the change that happened, and my nose was a little bit more small, but still, obviously, I had 4 more nose jobs to make it more small. But yes, I do think it gave me a level of self-esteem that I was lacking a little bit, and it took away some of the anxiety I had. And also, it definitely made my wants and expectations of other people around me, because a lot of people at that time in my life thought that was a lot of money to spend on myself. And so yes, and like it definitely, like I started then looking for a partner, and I was like, well, I'm only gonna accept a partner who can afford to have these nice things in our life. And it made me up the bar on my expectations of others, because also it's expensive to be me. And if I'm gonna be with someone, they have to be okay with that. So I do think so. I mean, the partners I had after that, I did have to draw a line in the sand at some point and say, no, I'm only going to accept this. And it didn't necessarily have to do for me about 6 packs and a set of pecs, For me, I was definitely more lifestyle driven, but I felt like I was turning myself